learning what works for me as a creative, and just trying to get these projects done, man.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The best way is just to start doing it.
yeah.
Not be perfect.
It's like
it's not gonna be
Yeah.
perfect.
and it's so cliche, but it's like it's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta put it out there.
Yeah.
Start working.
Hello and welcome to the 94th episode of the 30s podcast. My name is Clint.
My name is Uncle Marcus.
We have producer Caesar here.
He's hard at work.
Hey guys,
Yes,
hard at work over here.
yes, for complete focus. Then went immediately to look at his phone.
That's what I be doing. I'm just looking at OnlyFans while you guys do shows.
That's it. Okay.
Behind my back.
Time wisely.
Usually I'm not sitting behind you. If you feel a
He wants to make sure he can't be seen while he's looking at his OnlyFans. He's going to be gooning back there while we're talking.
You're gonna see a sweat on his chair when he gets up.
That's not the only fluid that's going to come out. Anyway, we have a guest today.
So today we have storyteller, musician, charcuterie and wine connoisseur, board game enthusiast, CrossFit fitter who likes
right.
cafes, David Rodriguez. Hello.
That's right. Hello. That's what you get. That's the Instagram bio.
That's the
Yeah.
Instagram bio, and I think people should do it the way you did it,
Yeah.
so we know what's happening.
When I was on the way here, I was anticipating how I was going to introduce myself, and I was like going to do exactly that.
Were you really?
I'm like, what better way to let you know what I'm about than just tell you what's on my Instagram bio? And you brought it up.
That's amazing.
Read my mind.
Same page.
Yeah.
David used to work at a we'll use the acronyms. So use DCAODV.
DCAODV. Yeah.
DCAODV. That's where we met. Do you remember doing the safety videos?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember both of them. Well, technically 2.5 because we did that like secret bonus one where we did with security. Remember?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was funny because I remember being at the front of all the floats or something, or we had all the trucks and
The fire trucks.
all the fire trucks.
Yeah.
And it was no texting and walking.
Yeah. Do not the dangers of texting and walking. which
That's
is-
what it was.
Yeah.
Which now it's like you could make another one right now
You could.
because
yeah.
people suck at that.
Walking.
Walking in
Walking,
general.
yeah,
they
in
just
general.
can't walk.
Add a phone in there.
Yeah.
Oof.
They're done.
As casualties.
Yeah.
They're done.
So you guys know each other from working at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the first thing on that resume was the storyteller.
Yeah.
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 Storyteller.
What kind of stories do you tell?
Well, where that comes from is just people would always ask, like, what is it that you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't always know how to answer that. And I'm like, I just want to tell stories in some way, whether it's, music, video. So I just decided to embrace it. So
Heck yeah.
it's kind of the start of that journey. I just put that there. That's a new addition
Oh, okay.
to my
really?
Instagram bio.
Yeah.
So, it'll show it's
It's a work in progress.
yeah, it's a work in progress. But yeah.
See, because like that's funny because like since I've known you, you've been a storyteller.
Mhm.
But then even like I get to a point where I'm like, well, am I a storyteller from not like writing stories all the time
Yeah.
or like doing it? Like, did you feel like there was a point where because
Imposter syndrome.
like you lost it almost or imposter syndrome?
Oh yeah. I think just the past couple years. Well, maybe I feel like I just got it. Like I found like my flow just this past year.
Really?
Like I feel like this whole time I was just kind of figuring out what works and just continuing to learn, but not really doing much with it. And then I think I was so stuck in that perfectionist mindset that most creatives really get stuck in. And then like I've been seeing this, I think she's like a shamanic healer of some sorts for the past 2 years. I got linked up with her through my old boss because she wanted to do something for meditation. So she needed someone to edit those recordings and, so then it was a creative exchange.
Yeah.
Right. So then she gave me those lessons. And then throughout the past 2 years, it's just been like opening the ways of just, creative flow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of lessons?
It's basically just how are you feeling today, and but she's not a therapist, right?
Yeah.
There's like a different approach that she basically picks up on like strong energies that you when you talk. It's like, hey, I notice there's a lot of energy in these words that you say. So then it goes deeper, and then you kind of reflect on it, and then you kind of just work on taking those barriers out. So like a lot of it is, just whether it's, parent trauma, expectations. So I think just these past 2 years, just letting go of all that and just kind of just going for it.
Yeah.
I think that's why I was able to make like a small cartoon the past month or
Yeah.
I just said, you know what, let me see what I can do in a month. And I just kind of did it, even though like part of my problem was trying to figure everything out as I was going. At least the old me was, if everything wasn't figured out, I wouldn't do it. Right.
Yeah. Oh, I felt that too.
Yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
trying to have it to be perfect. I mean, I know Jerry Seinfeld is like a super perfectionist,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that works for him. But for me, the less that I'm in my head and kind of just throwing things out is, I kind of realized is a lot better. And then kind of taking out the mindset of trying to edit as you go, like just go, like edit it later. It's going to be polished at some point. But yeah, that's why I kind of think I just found, or I'm starting that real journey in this. That's why it was a new addition in the Instagram bio.
There it is.
Barely
full
now,
circle.
I'm embracing it now. So just because of that, just kind of learning what works for me as a creative, and like just trying to get these projects done, man.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The best way is just to start doing it.
yeah.
Not be perfect.
It's like,
it's not gonna be
Yeah.
perfect.
and it's so cliche, but it's like it's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta put it out there.
Yeah.
Start working.
Yeah, like doing this podcast, like that was always my thing because I've tried with different Disney friends or Warner Brother friends to make this,
Yeah.
but it's like I just had to push through it, and then there's days where we don't know what to do,
Yeah.
or want to do it, or do it. But now we're at 94.
Yeah.
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 It's crazy.
94.
Yeah.
Nuts, dude.
And we've had to skip weeks here and there for like personal reasons.
Yeah.
But like you said, like sometimes like I don't have anything this week.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
because this is like a shoot the shit podcast. It's
Yeah,
not like we
yeah.
have a format or anything.
Yeah.
So, but there's always something happening. But as soon as like we get like just go and do
Yeah.
it, do the thing, and then it always works.
So maybe people have heard the story or the origin of this, but why did you guys decide to start it, or what brought up this?
Well, we have different. Why don't you start first?
Well, it was also like, so during COVID, I had to leave entertainment and all the fun stuff and just live in
Right.
Chino Hills because it was COVID.
Right.
I didn't know if Denzel was going to be working. Like, I'm not going to be working.
Yeah.
So it's like, well,
Denzel.
so then Washington.
Oh,
Denzel Washington.
oh.
Denzel
Are you guys
Washington.
friends?
Yeah, well,
Wait,
he was making the Scottish play movie.
Oh, I'm like
In
who's
the-
Denzel.
He was just, he's the last person I saw before it
My
all
friend
closed
Denzel's
down.
not working right. I don't know.
So
Like,
I'm not gonna
There's only one Denzel I know.
One Denzel.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know any other Denzel.
I know a fictitious character that named Denzel, but not like a,
That's about it.
No, okay. Anyway, so you and Denzel.
So, and then I was, because then my parents talked me into doing teaching,
Yeah. Yeah.
but also now looking at teaching, it's like I'm getting all the stories from it
Yeah.
and
that's
all the
content.
experience, like really being able to handle it with 30 tiny people
You know what
attacking
I've heard
you.
about that recently is
Yeah.
like with jokes is that if you can make little kids laugh, you're good.
Dude.
Like you can make
Oh,
adults
yeah.
laugh.
Dude,
Like, they're like
it's
the harshest
insane.
critics.
Yeah.
And it's just so hard to get them to laugh
yeah,
sometimes.
especially doing voice impressions,
uh-huh.
because they'll be like, "That's not him."
Yeah, like, that sucks. And they
That's
don't give a
not
fuck.
it.
They'll look you in the eye and
Yeah.
tell you that you suck.
Yeah.
Like, well, we'll be
No
like, oh, it's
filter.
like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you can work on it. They'll
Yeah.
just tell you straight up, no, you fucking
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
So if you can make them laugh,
Mhm.
you know you're good to make adults laugh.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, I got something.
You're on-
here
you're
for
on
this
the
kid
right
laugh.
track.
And that is
Yeah.
that is the fun of working with kids. Like yesterday, I was with a third grade class.
Mhm.
And I never met them before, but I start doing my thing and they're like, "Are you a voice actor?" And I'm like, "Well, not really." But then I tell them, "Oh, I do comedy and stuff." And then this one kid says, "Oh yeah, he does standing comedy."
Oh,
And I'm
standing
like,
comedy.
"Standing comedy?
They're not wrong.
I
Yeah.
guess.
I do stand.
do."
yeah.
You're like, "Yes, good." But yeah, and then third grade especially because they like stuff like like
toilet
the easy
humor?
pop culture stuff.
Oh, pop culture, really?
Yeah, like
Like
so no like Yoda if you do a Yoda
Oh,
voice.
I
Taylor
see, I see.
Swift.
Like cartoons,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo,
Yeah.
and then the Gen Z slang. If you do all those things, it's like
You tell them a gooning
Gooning.
joke?
yeah. So that's 8th grade.
Yeah. Oh, that's eighth
okay.
grade. All right.
Damn, they're
They're
gooning in
learning
8th
about
grade
it.
now? Jeez. Well, I guess that's
They're
about right.
young.
I don't know.
Yeah, 7th grade. Because 7th grade, they're like, "Can I say this in front of you, Mr. McKay?" And I'm like, "No, not that one."
They see the green line one? What is
Green-
that one
oh,
again?
Green FN.
Green FN.
Green
yeah.
FN.
Do you know that one?
And I don't.
It's
That
not-
one's
You don't have to
bad.
explain it. You
Just
just look
alright.
at it.
We'll tell you when we're
Just
done.
send me a
It's
text
not-
It's
yeah,
from
it's not good.
2K.
So go back to why you wanted to get into this.
So yeah, so then I'm doing that, and I'm like, "Well, this isn't what I want to do."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of course, then when you're doing the teaching classes, it's like, well, okay, I could take my entertainment skills and make this somehow work. But at a certain point, I'm like, oh, I'm babysitting and I'm
Yeah.
and undervalued. So I'm like, well, I need to do it with someone who has something in common. And it's like Marcus got really into the Comedy Store comedians.
Yeah. Yeah.
That a lot of them, because I was listening to podcasts before, because I would go from Chino Hills to Burbank all the
Oh yeah,
time.
that's a lot. It's a lot.
So I liked like Pete Holmes had like a 2 or 3 hour one,
Yeah.
and then that's how I got into more of the Comedy Store people.
Mm-hmm.
But then Marcus was into that during COVID and felt like he found the people he resonated with.
Right. Right.
And then because I was turning 30 and he was already in his 30s, he came up with the 30s, which is interesting. And then even now it's like there's still like there's just something different when you're in your 30s than when you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
And so we've been able to find
I still don't
stuff all
know
the
that
time.
yet.
It's going to happen to you.
It's those decade shifts. Every new decade, something shifts.
Really?
I feel like when you're in
yeah.
your 20s, it's like, oh, I'm an adult now. No, you're not. As soon as you turn like 20, 21, you're like, oh, I'm old.
Yeah.
You know, because it's
Yeah.
that milestone of like, I'm out of
Yeah.
high school. I'm no longer a teenager. I know everything. And you don't. And then once you turn 30, you're like, okay, the 20, it's the same kind of
I
thing.
guess
where,
it could be a mindset
yeah,
shift.
it's kind of like a
Yeah.
shift. Where you're like, all right, well, now I'm like an adult, or like I'm getting older or whatever. And then I imagine that happens when you turn 40 too. From what I've heard from friends that are older, like, yeah, when you turn 40, you're like, then you finally figured it out almost.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're
Wow.
out of your shit or whatever.
Mhm.
And then I'm assuming like each decade is like a shift
different
in some
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And then for this, because I don't know. Well, I couldn't think of a name or anything for the
Uh-huh.
show because we don't have a format here, so it wouldn't be like, oh, this is we talk about freeway. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
is a freeway
Freeway
podcast.
photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if it was like Star Wars, we'd have
there
to
was
talk
a-
about it every time.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it would
no,
be like,
that'd
oh,
be
it's
crazy.
like the Jedi. I don't know, some bullshit like that. Happy May
Yeah.
the 4th, by the way. This is May the 4th.
Oh yeah, May the
fourth.
4th.
So I was just like, oh, we're in our 30s. Like life's different, so it's just out of the 30s, and it
Yeah.
just worked, I guess.
So if it goes on to the 40s, do you like change
Change
the
the
name?
name.
If we make
Yeah.
it that far.
The 40s.
30s or preserve our youth.
And I'll get there before you do, so I don't know if we'd change it, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I got into it. I've been aware of podcasts for a long time. I just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
only like the big one, like Joe Rogan. I'm not like a fan of Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
like he's not. It's just not my. I only know him from stand up and news radio.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
like not my guy. So like I'm not gonna listen to his show. And then the other one I knew was the Nerdist podcast with
Oh, the
Chris
Nerdist,
Hardwick,
yeah.
and like
Yeah.
I liked him.
Chris
So I would
Hardwick.
listen to his podcast here
Mhm.
and there. But then once everything, like in 2020, everything stops.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So I could only watch Downton Abbey so many times on TV.
Downtown Abbey. That's your
Downton
thing.
Abbey,
All right.
I found that during the pandemic somehow. And I'm like, oh, this is
Yeah.
pretty good. And it was a good show. So then I don't remember. I think I listened to an episode of Joe Rogan because my roommate at that time really liked it. And he was like,
Yeah.
just listen to this thing. Like, all right. And then he was talking to another comedian. I don't remember who, but I just thought like, oh, these guys are, I feel like a kinship almost because they're saying a lot of things that I like. They'll tell you like I have very strong, unique opinions about a lot of stuff, and
Mhm.
like no one else really thinks similarly to me.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people do, and I've always been that way. And like I was listening to comedians talk, and this is again 2020, so like the world was crazy, like,
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
pandemic, and then like the George Floyd stuff, like everything was really crazy in California.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big deal. So I was like these two particular comedians, Joe Rogan and I forget who else, were like saying the things that like I was saying that no one else was saying or like couldn't say. And I was like, oh, they know what's going on.
Yeah,
like these guys are like, I say them like my mutants. So I'm an X-Men, like the mutants.
Yeah,
I found my other mutants. So like it just went down a rabbit hole of like I was like, oh, comedians know what they're doing. Like, they're my people. They're saying what I say. They're like they don't give a like they're saying the things that no one wants to say, and it's funny. Yeah. And I've always kind of done that anyway. I just hadn't found that. And then I'm like, oh well, they all have podcasts, and like their stand up is good, but like I like this format of just
the format of
like real casual or like not casual, casual conversation of just like. Just let it all out. It's, unfiltered. Sometimes we edit, but like, it's like that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, I'm really good at talking and I talk a lot and I could do
better
this.
way to
get in a room and get in behind a microphone and a camera and just see what happens. And so I just went like this it was like a rabbit hole, dude. Like every day I was just all day was podcasts and cause they all have podcasts.
Yeah.
And then they had like the guest on that show and then like, oh, well, we can find me at this thing. Like, okay, I'll go to that show.
So you go to, damn.
It's just endless.
You went down.
Yeah, dude. I had nothing to do. Like I got furloughed. I didn't have a job then. So I was like, but I was still getting paid by the state. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, I got nothing to do because everything's closed. So I'm going to listen to podcasts all day.
Yeah.
And then it just went from there. And then I started going to comedy shows and I started getting into stand up and then just like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
This is what I need to be. And then I was getting affirmations about it too. Like people like, you're kind of funny or like, you do well behind a microphone or like, so like, okay, well, if the world's telling me that like, this is good, then it must be good. Something must be here. Yeah. And so then I don't remember when we brought it up together. I don't know if you brought it up. Or maybe I mentioned that I was into podcasting and he was like, oh, well, I want to do this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we had another friend that wasn't as serious about it. And we tried doing it with him and it just didn't really work.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we just kind of made the decision to like, why don't we just do it, the two of us then?
That's right, yeah.
And so like he found a studio, which was the biggest hurdle was this, like, because I don't know how to do any of this.
The production stuff. Yeah.
Like, I'm the talent.
I think that's always
like I just want to show up and talk.
I show up in sunglasses in the Starbucks, and that's my job.
I know, but it's because it is tough because I've edited before.
It's a lot of work.
Like it's hard editing.
We tried without a producer at first, and like we couldn't even figure out how to. We had bought like what did you have like a board, like a soundboard or something?
Because I have like
figuring out all the technical.
Blue Yeti mic.
Yeah, right. And we couldn't figure out how to get it to our lap. Like it wasn't working.
Yeah,
we were like, I'm sure the solution is just plug in and switch on, but we were like,
I'm cringing just thinking about it.
Dude, it was so
lost.
Yeah, and like
the Yeti mic USB microphone.
Yeah, and how's like a whole trunk of tech, and like I wouldn't know how to do any of this stuff. And he went to school to like learn this, or kind of, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was educated on doing this. How the fuck am I going to do this?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was like a big hurdle, and then he ended up finding a studio before we found Caesar, and the guy there was like, "Yeah, you guys have to talk, and then I'll do everything else."
Like, oh my god, this is what I've been looking for.
Yeah.
And then it was literally from Googling podcast studios.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was so easy.
And that's how I found that guy.
Nice. What's funny? So I took my dad. So my dad loves comedy too. Loves George Carlin, like all the old guys like Richard Pryor. But yesterday I took him to go see Bobby Lee at the Brea Improv.
Oh, did you go?
Yeah.
Cool.
But this was his first time ever seeing comedy live.
Oh.
And he was like how big is this place? And then I'm like, oh, it's it's decent. There's like 200 people. And I'm like 200. Like, isn't it like a back alley, like 50 people thing? Oh. And then so we get there and, the line's all wrapped around. Yeah. He was just in shock. And he's just like, what? Like, people line up to see this? And we get in the venue. He's like, never in my years of living would I think that, like, people sit around to hear other people talk.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Brea Improv's bigger than 200 people. That's like 600.
Yeah.
It goes like all the way
something.
back.
Especially since you're all like...
Yeah,
you're cramped
at
together.
The tables and just like,
and then the waiters are there. Are you done? Yes. I'm trying to listen.
Yeah, he's saying the punchline. They drop the check like before the show's done. You're like, can you just like get out of the way?
Yeah. But that was a cool experience for him. I was glad that I was able to have him experience that. But he was still in awe. He was like, people like listening to other people talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
I had not been to a comedy show. Well, actually, I take that back. I saw Chris D'Elia in like 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And that was funny. I think that was my first live comedy show. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. But it just didn't click to like do it that often.
Yeah.
And then once I started going regularly, I'm like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
This is because it's sacred in a sense that, well, it's live, but also it doesn't leave that room. You can't record anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
People get away with it sometimes. So you're
Yeah,
not supposed
yeah.
to record. So it's like, this is happening in the moment right now. It's real. It's not, you're not going to see it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Sometimes they like pull some like crazy bull or they say something wild. You're like, holy,
Yeah.
and it's not recorded. So like,
Yeah.
this was the time. This is like, I talked about
It's a
last
vibe,
week.
yeah.
I saw Martin Lawrence at
Oh, yeah.
the Comedy Store and I was like, what, like, how is this going to happen? This is never going to happen again.
Yeah.
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 And, unless he randomly shows up again, which he did like 2 days
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
But I was like, what the like, and it's just, it's like it's a memory now too.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like for Bobby's closing thing. He got like half naked.
I was going to say, did he take his pants off
Oh
all
yeah,
during
of
the
course.
show?
He's like, yeah, I used to do naked dances, but I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So he got someone from the audience, and he like did this lap dance. He ended up like doing some backflip, and his legs, were like on here, and then the guy fell, and he's like, "What the hell?" It was so funny,
He's
dude. It
awfully
was.
limber for a small, portly Asian
Yeah,
man.
he's like 52, he said, and
Yeah.
he moves
Is he
around
really?
like he does CrossFit.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
you
you
go.
just CrossFit?
I don't know.
Oh, he does CrossFit.
He would fool me if he said he didn't.
Yeah.
So
It's that addict energy. Was the crowd was it all Asians mostly?
to be honest, I really wasn't paying attention too much
Okay.
to the crowd, but I think it was majority. Like, I mean, it was Brea,
Right.
so
Yeah.
take with that
Brea.
what you will.
I saw Bobby Lee once, and it was like, Jesus, like everyone in here. I mean, he's Asian, but
Yeah.
it was just interesting.
How long ago was that?
It was last year sometime.
Last
in
year?
2023.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe his Tiger Belly podcast and all this probably got him a lot
Yeah.
more notoriety. So
Right.
yeah.
I think Bad Friends has eclipsed Tiger Belly.
Oh
Yeah, that
now.
one's pretty big, but then all they have to do is be on like Two Bears Once
Right.
or Rogan if he goes on that. Because Bobby's interesting because he doesn't really tour, but he toured with the podcast.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just like
He does local stuff. Like he'll do
Yeah.
Brea or like he doesn't go far from LA.
yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
go very
yeah.
far.
So what was the second thing on that list?
Second thing,
Charcuterie?
Charcuterie.
Oh, I think it's I don't even remember mine. It's a storyteller, musician.
Musician, yeah.
Musician.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind
so,
of music?
Play guitar and drums.
Mhm.
Trying to learn piano. Want to learn bass too. One day I want to try to attempt vocals. I just love music. My taste in music, and I just want to know as much as I can.
Yeah.
I think also just trying to see how much I can learn, and I don't know. I love playing it. I think
Yeah.
I just got it from little. I don't know. My parents were out doing their thing, so then I was at home. I'm like, well, I want to do something, so I picked up a guitar and then got the drums. When my brother got he got it from a gift from his roommate, and he's like, hey, you should come play drums, and I just picked it up, and it was cool. Yeah,
Nice,
but
dude.
that's where that is. But yeah, I used to.
Because did you sort of have a band at one point?
Yeah, a couple
Kinda.
years ago, I was in a band called Multifarious.
Multifarious.
Yeah, so that was just born out of pandemic. We want to play together,
yeah.
and then we just started playing all these cover songs at venues like Steelcraft, some bars in Long Beach. It was fun. Like I loved bonding with those guys, but things kind of just I wanted it to go a different direction, and but they're still doing their thing. I think they're almost going to release an album, hopefully,
Oh.
which I'm excited to hear.
Dang.
But yeah,
What
but-
kind of music is it?
it's I mean I don't know, this is going to be their first album, but it's a blend, because one thing that was really unique about it was there was so many different styles going into it. There was people like all the guitar players love metal, right? So they come from that 8-string guitars.
Yeah.
Then a lot of the other people like funk, hip hop, and like Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak. So I don't know. Just imagine all those styles being blended, and we'll see what happens.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
but yeah,
you're still good with those guys?
yeah. So I guess that goes into the next thing with some of those cats. We have cheese nights. So that's that's our thing to kind of gather. So I guess this leads into the next thing: wine and cheese board enthusiast, or connoisseur.
Jeez.
I like my wine. That's my preferred. I don't really do cocktails too much, or beer. I don't know. I like wine, and the charcuterie that comes with it is just So good.
Damn.
If any of y'all haven't been to Let It Brie in Fullerton, it's
Let It
so
Brie.
good. Let It Brie,
Let It
like the
Brie.
cheese.
Mm.
It's so good. Like their cheese boards are some of the probably the best that I've had.
Oh.
Yeah, and then their wine selection is like pretty good too, but it's so good. But that's how I still hang out with them. Is we do. So everybody has an assigned item that they need to bring. So it's cheese, the assortments, like the jams and then the crackers, then the wine. Somebody's or two people are in charge of wines,
Yeah.
and it's different every month. So that's pretty cool, and it just kind of it's a good way to still bond with them and just catch up. But yeah,
Yeah,
we're actually due for another one, so that might happen
Oh.
soon. Yeah,
Ooh. Because that's actually like a very 30s person kind of thing to do, I think.
yeah.
Charcuterie and wine.
I think that's where we're getting to, because
Charcuterie and
Yeah.
wine. Hey, it's
I do that.
good.
I do it.
It's
I
good.
do it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
I make boards. I've made boards here and there.
yeah.
It's fun.
I know when I introduce it to people, they're like, "What? This gets you full?" I'm like,
It does.
It does.
It gets
Yeah.
you full. I've the boards I've made, I've never been finished. Like, because I'll make them for people, and I'm like, well, you got to put a lot on here because this is like the meal doesn't get finished. It
Yeah.
just fills you up.
I love the different combinations, especially with honey.
Ooh.
I love honey because of charcuterie boards. One of my old coworkers, he was a beekeeper, so I would get honey from him.
What kind of
That's
wines
cool.
do you like?
In terms of reds, I like Pinots, some red blends, and what is it, Merlots?
Merlot.
No, not Merlots. Zinfandels.
Zen's mine.
Yeah.
That was Zen.
And then for whites, I really like Rieslings.
Okay,
Rieslings.
it's sweeter.
Yeah.
We did this thing on the show where I asked Clint to name like 3 kinds of wine, and he couldn't.
my brain wasn't working.
Yeah, he was
You're
like,
not 30 yet.
I couldn't.
What did you say? He said cabaret at one point.
Cabaret?
Well, that's close.
Yeah.
Somehow I couldn't do it on the spot, but if you kept talking, then I would suddenly get it.
Yeah.
It would suddenly come to me.
Okay.
I don't know
love
where.
Zinfandel. I like a bold red.
Yeah.
Zinfandel.
I like the wines that like make my hair stand up. They have to be like pretty strong or bold.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sweeter ones kind of turn me off a bit. Like, I mean, I'm sorry for anybody that's ever given me the Stella, but I just put it in the
That's not wine.
the community wine. And
Yeah.
Anybody who comes over, y'all can have it.
It's not wine.
Yeah,
It
it's
goes right in the
it's
trash.
grape juice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stella?
Yeah.
it's all right. It's wine for the uninitiated.
Right. It's wine if you're 20.
Yeah,
It's like the kids drink it.
if you're
Let's
trying
do
to
it.
get introduced to it. But yeah,
We drank it one time at this came up recently at Rebecca's house in
Oh,
the hot tub.
is that
That's
what
a
we
whole
had?
story. Yeah, that's what you had.
That was I had.
You had plenty of that.
And then I threw up? I don't know.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Those-
wine
that-
pukes.
Way back then.
Yeah,
Holy cow. Yikes.
Anyway,
yeah.
wine enthusiast. So what's next on that list?
I think
Leave it open, Clint. You can't- you
I
can't
think
get
it's
back to it.
board game.
Oh, board games. Okay.
Board games.
Do you do board games?
Yeah, I love board games. Again, pandemic. I
Yeah.
mean,
Pandemic, yeah.
I loved board games prior to that. I'd say I liked them. My first memory with them was camping out for Dark Knight Rises. We camped out the night before. So we did like almost.
Remember when that was a thing?
Yeah,
you would
camping
wait out in
Camping
line
out.
for midnight showings or just like the next day.
dude.
And like now, nobody.
Now it's like I got my seat.
Yeah,
I'll show
reserve
up
seat
right
I'll show
before.
up 20 minutes late because of the previews.
Yeah.
None of the camping out.
And that's still some of the best parts, the previews. I mean, I sometimes I
Yeah.
hate when I miss them.
Yeah.
You miss some good stuff. But
episode.
yeah, we camped out for almost a whole day, like 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then one of our friends brought this game called Last Night on Earth, which is a zombie board game. And the couple people in line, we played and had a good time and then stopped. And then with the pandemic, we were all kind of separated from everybody. So what a better way to bring people back than to board games. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what, and it just kind of evolved into a nice little hobby.
That's
Yeah.
good. Another like the 30s thing, because
Board games.
as you get older, it's like you can't.
I am 30.
Well, you are 30. You're there already.
Yeah.
You're there because as you get older, you don't want to be in like the super noisy place
Yeah.
because you're like,
It's just a different form of gathering.
yeah, because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do want to actually hear the other person.
Yeah.
You don't want to just muffled out by the alcohol and the sound.
Yeah.
Because in your 20s, it seems like that's just like every other place.
Yeah.
Because then when
Lose
you
your
try
hearing.
and you're losing your hearing, and then you think, oh, I'm not going to go drink if I go out with people, but they're all created to drink. Like that's all the places are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where they
That's
make their
smart.
money.
When you do want to go out, so like the improv, it's like you 2-drink minimum. It's like I'm not going to order 2 Sprites. Like
Yeah.
It's like if I do, it's like
I had to,
$8.
Yeah.
yeah, and then it's
Yeah.
kind of like I always feel bad because like the server, instead of their check being like $50+, it's like 12.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like
I got a water
I
and
don't
a
drink.
Pepsi. Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, see, like that, but it's like in those environments, usually they're like, it's like you're not supposed to drink, but it's almost encouraged.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hey, have a good time, whatever. And yeah, it sucks. It's like forced on you sometimes to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the board game thing, it's like just, I never really was like a partier anyway, but it's just like, I'd rather just like chill
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of like go and do like a whole whatever.
I think I got more into it this past year too because me and 2 other friends we wanted to make Mondays better, and that seemed to only be the day that we were available to play board games.
Oh,
And we have with board games, it's common. I mean, I'm pretty sure video games too, but your backlog of games you haven't played just gets so big. Like, all right, we got to get through these. So why not every Monday? We know we're free. Let's just gather every Monday religiously, and we just
Have a charcuterie, have some
Charcuterie.
wine.
yeah. No, I mean,
board game.
on weekends, that's what it is.
Wow.
You know, have a little charcuterie beforehand, get a little wine, and then get ready to play.
Booyah.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty sick.
Nice.
That's board games.
Let's board, guys.
Board, man.
New meaning to the word board.
Yeah, I kind of started up this board game Instagram or YouTube called Tabletop Tantrum. I was keeping up with it for a bit. Maybe it'll make a comeback, but
Yeah, because what was your idea with the Instagram?
well, like my whole thing was to build up a library and like some sort of following. What I would love to do is content for board games, or just 'cause it's a nice little niche, but try to do animatics to for promotion, because board games really blew up with the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it just all of a sudden, all these video game IPs are going to this board game space, like Witcher, Fallout.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, like Witcher. What else? Skyrim.
Skyrim.
They made one of those. The Fallout board game really blew up because of the Fallout TV show.
Yeah, that show, it's pretty good.
It is.
So I get it.
So it's been booming, and there's a whole Kickstarter craze right now where everybody's trying to get their projects funded.
Oh.
So there's a lot of traction going on in that industry.
Yeah, get into that.
So we'll see.
That was kind of what was great about 2020. It was just like people kind of learned
Yeah.
what they want to do.
Take a step back.
Yeah, just everything stopped. We did this. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, people just learn like, oh, I can do something creative.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and just enjoy it.
There you go.
Everything's about
And enjoy the government's money for a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Those
thank
stimmies,
you.
Those stimmies were coming in, baby, and
Yeah.
I bought this with it.
yeah, like
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
like I was fortunate to get like the maximum benefits from it, and it was like I'll take all of it.
Yeah,
Just sit
yeah.
at home, dude, and like have fun.
Yeah, I was my hours got reduced at my job, and I was scared to speak up. But years later, my boss was like, you could have applied for unemployment. I was like, I could have. Like all these people who weren't working were making way more money than I was.
dude.
It's bull.
I was like
Yeah.
on the fence when I first had to do it too, because I felt like such a failure doing it.
Yeah,
Because when I got furloughed, so this was going to be 2 weeks, right? And like,
Yeah.
you'll have your job back. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then it's like, oh, you're not getting your job back. So I'm like, oh, I got to go apply for unemployment. It felt so weird.
Yeah.
To go on that website and be like, I don't have a job.
Yeah,
Give
it
me
did.
money.
I need money.
Yeah, and then it ended up being great because it was boosted, whatever. And I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, all right, now I don't care.
Yeah, podcast Downtown Abbey and
Yeah,
free
Downton
money.
Abbey and just
DoorDash.
like,
DoorDash.
getting up. I think it was every 2 weeks, like on a Tuesday. Like, oh, my bank account. Like, I did it
Yeah.
on my
Yeah.
phone while watching Downton Abbey in my underwear, and it's just like living the life right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah, 2020 was great, guys.
it was.
Stimmies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next on the list?
So CrossFit.
CrossFit. Yeah.
CrossFit is something that my dad is religious about,
Oh yeah, he does.
and he's so into it that it makes me not want to be into it.
What? Why? You
That's
don't
how
want
I
you
feel
don't want the
about,
scrape
Taylor
shins.
Swift.
Oh, the scrape shins. Oh, tell me more about the pain.
Damn it, he didn't
Oh
hear
no, it's fun, dude.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's you get it from rubbing all those barbells up against your shins.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know. I was skeptical at first. You know, I get the hesitation. You know, tell me, trying to, yeah. What is that saying? Tell me you're in CrossFit without telling me you're in CrossFit.
yeah.
It's just
Oh,
you know,
the
let me
shins?
The
just
shins.
show you.
Let me see your shins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's cool, man. You should try it.
How,
Just try it.
yeah, okay, Dad. So how long?
You got
have
nothing
been
to
doing
lose
it?
but a couple pounds. I don't
Pounds,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some shin skin, maybe.
Yeah. But so he loves CrossFit.
Loves it, but he's retired from law enforcement, so it's like, what else
He's
is
got all
gonna?
the time in the world to
Got-
get fit.
Yeah, he's got time, and like, what else will be that intense for a retired guy?
Yeah, yeah,
Nothing.
yeah.
Then how long have you been doing it?
Like 2 years.
Oh, 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So kind of a newbie, but it's fun.
Yeah.
At first it was scary because of all the you're gonna throw the barbell 5 feet in the air and then catch it. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
because they do that kind
Yeah,
of
see,
shit.
like I don't even really know what CrossFit. It's it a high intensity thing?
Yeah. It's basically like high intensity, high volume, like high rep, like all these
Okay.
Olympic movements or gymnastic
I
movements.
think I did a class. I did a class at Equinox once a couple years ago, and I don't know if it was CrossFit, but it was like a high intensity thing. I was like, "This is nuts."
Yeah,
it
dude.
It really was like I feel the push to the absolute brink, and I didn't like it, but it was like it's nuts, dude. It's really you get in there.
Yeah, it's when you accomplish something, it is cool because like I can do that movement now, or snatch.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a good
And
workout.
we're like swinging the
Snatch.
bells around like up and down.
Yeah,
and we're like,
yeah.
keep going, keep going. Come on.
You're almost there. I'm tired.
Yeah, but you're not almost there. They lie to you.
Caesar is
Yeah.
I tried to do CrossFit too, and there's like you have to do intro classes, and I couldn't get through the intro
Yeah,
classes.
it's
I
like-
tried twice to do it through the intro classes.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like
When'd
when
you try it?
Yeah.
Like, all right, now we're gonna
Years
go,
ago.
guys.
Yeah,
Nuts, dude.
Yeah,
those
it's bad.
those intro classes do teach you like, damn, I'm pretty far behind.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
It made me think like I don't know if I want to be pushed to the limit with exercise. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I'm more of like we'll take a longer
know.
workout and
Yeah.
just like
Maybe now that school is ending, I'll do it. Also, because of stopping alcohol for the most part.
Oh, so
most part.
you're also
Yeah,
kind of dropping it.
yeah, but also because I was listening to this book called The Naked Mind,
Okay.
and that kind of blew my mind about alcohol
blow
a
your
bit.
naked mind.
But I'm also like it blew my naked mind, and there's just like I just got to get the 6-pack back.
Okay.
I just have to do it. My gut's been destroyed. I'm 32 now,
Yeah.
and the years of like, oh, I'll still keep drinking. I think it's just kept it there. And like CrossFit must be the thing to
Dude,
help the most.
it is expensive though. It is.
My dad said he'd pay for it, so
He's that into it.
he's that into it. That's also what made me go like,
Finance.
Don't know if I
wanna
do it.
that.
yeah.
That's love right there. 'Cause that's
He
like
pays for
$200
it?
a month.
200. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
maybe
Just
I'll
do it
do
on
it.
YouTube or something.
YouTube?
Oh,
Yeah, if you want. Or
You have the-
it's yeah.
They have the
It's not as
equipment.
well, obviously won't be as great.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. But you know, with proper CrossFit, then if I ever want to do anything fancy at the Ren Fair, you know, then one day I'll be able to
like
show
bar-
off, you
yeah.
know,
What
would
a
you-
Spartacus,
like a
Spart-
barbarian, but
Yeah.
like full chest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last year I was a friar. I got whimsical.
Oh, that's kind of the opposite of a barbarian.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm still in my insecure phase.
Still my friar face.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna glow up to a barbarian. Speaking of Ren Fair, I went last week.
Mhm.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I had no expectations for it. I went once when I was a little kid and don't remember any of it. And it kind of sucked because I had tickets for the pub crawl.
Oh,
and
you
I had
did?
already like sworn off drinking, but these tickets were bought like way in advance. So it's like,
Mhm.
all right, well, it's one day, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go do it and just treat it like a tasting, and be like, because it's included.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can't just be like, no, I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what you hear. So I'll do like a tasting.
You paid for
and just
this.
Give it to like one of my friends, whatever. I ended up drinking all of them.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
It was mead. That was my first time trying mead,
Mead.
which I guess is
Oh,
like
mead.
fermented honey.
Yeah,
or
fermented
something.
honey alcohol or something.
Yeah, and it was pretty good, and it got me pretty drunk because I had 4 of them, and
that's
that's
the
what
Ren
you get
Fair.
on the pub crawls. Like you get 4 drinks, and I ended up having 1 or 2 after that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no expectations for the Ren Fair. I just expected like a lot of pushed up titties. That's what everyone was
That's
saying. for the
exactly what it
corset.
is.
Push up
Exactly
titties?
what it
You
was.
want a drink?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay, well, look, I'm seeing the Instagram videos, and like, it can't be every booth.
Yeah.
Every booth. It was
Every
just
booth.
that, like, what are we having? And you're like,
I'll have the
this
dragon's
much in
milk.
the nip. I can see that. It's like, right there,
Yeah.
dude. And which was great. It was fine.
He said, "Why aren't we going?"
Because you weren't invited.
Exactly.
There you go.
I don't have friends that invite me.
Yeah, they were very offended they weren't invited.
Like,
this
what?
week. But it wasn't my trip. Okay?
Couldn't get
Hey, I'm
whimsical.
inviting you, Clint. Let's go. Me and you, man.
Let's go.
Fine.
All right,
Just bros hitting it
just
up.
bros, just a couple of bros.
Some fryers.
Friars.
Get your bald wigs.
What confidence level are you at? You're not Spartacus yet.
No.
He said he didn't finish the training CrossFit. So
I'm a good-looking person, but I'm not fit at all.
I want to go this year. I want to be Lord Farquaad.
Lord Farquaad.
I saw
Hell
Lord
yeah.
Farquaad. It was a lady, but she did a pretty
Oh.
good job.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there were a lot of Fionas.
A lot of Fionas.
Like,
okay.
not the ogre version, unfortunately. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Marcus is like, I'm looking for the ogre.
Oh, looking for
version.
the ogre Fiona.
for my own
Winking at
ogre
the camera.
Yeah, so anyway, I had no expectations. Ended up being fun.
Dude, it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's. I didn't like. I wanted to buy some stuff, but it was all very expensive. A lot of the stuff there. I think I said I was going to bring in a prop or something that I could like show here, and it was just like, I can't spend $50 for a dagger or like I
Dude,
just
yeah.
because I'm not going to use it. I'm not planning on anybody,
Yeah, like,
and just like it's just what is this?
you're just gonna use it to cut boxes.
Yeah, like,
Amazon
I'm-
boxes. Yeah.
And like, oh, my UPS is here, and pull out like a like no,
Perfect.
yeah, just what I wanted to spend $75 on for.
Yeah. I spent last year $35 on a tea bag of absinthe.
Okay.
But
I saw an absinthe booth, but I didn't.
Yeah,
go inside.
it was like right when you walk in.
Yeah, right when you walk in. Mhm.
Dude, yes, last year when I went, I was the only one that was pre-gaming, and I was trying to hype everybody up. I had a bottle of Crown Royale or whatever.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
And
That's my Achilles heel.
oh yeah.
Yes.
That's his drink
That
of
is my
choice.
cruel mistress.
I was
my
like,
mistress.
oh, everybody have some. No, we'll wait.
I would have
And
drank that
then,
whole bottle from you.
dude,
Give me that.
by the time we got in there, I was on a good one. And then we got like another drink. And I remember going to that absinthe, and they were just selling me on it.
Yeah.
And they're like, how much is it? $35?
I'll take two.
Yeah, just give it. I still haven't used it. And then
wow.
I know I started crashing really bad once we hit the food court area. Oh man, my energy levels went so hard
You're out in
down.
the sun too. Like I remember because I got kind of toasty from the sun and the drinks. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, am I here in the fucking sun, day drunk? It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
it's
drains
bad.
you,
Yeah.
saps you. Yeah, I didn't go to the absinthe booth, but I did end up buying a candle that was like $35.
Mhm.
Candle, and the guy was like, I wanted to buy something, and I was like on the way out. I'm like, well, I'll get a candle. Like that's at least practical.
Is it scented?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's scented. It's just like a regular, it's like one of those white wicks, just like a candle.
Yeah,
Here it
35.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like ooh,
Make your own.
And he was like, "Oh, my daughter made the." He was like selling the whole thing. I'm like, "I'm gonna buy one. That's why I'm in here. I'm gonna buy this. Stop selling it to me."
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, she's in the back making them right now. And I was like, "Bring her ass out here and explain why they're so expensive."
Yeah. It's handmade.
Yeah. And so I bought it, and then like he put it. It was like in this handmade bag that he like.
It's artisan
I'm like,
made.
I don't
Yeah.
care about the bag. Is that why this is so expensive? Knock $10 off. I don't want that.
Yeah.
But then I brought it home and it doesn't even light. Like it lights.
Oh, no.
It lights and then it goes out immediately.
Oh, that sucks.
So I'm
dude.
like holding the fire to it. Like maybe it has to get like warmed up or whatever.
Oh, damn.
And I've tried a couple days now. I'm like, well, this is worthless.
Oh, that
Yikes.
sucks.
Yeah.
I saw Tom Morello when I was over there, the guitarist for Rage Against the Machine.
Was he dressed up?
And he was like normal. I guess he took his grandkids or family.
Okay.
And I saw him at the turtle racing.
Oh.
And we made eye contact, and I'm pretty sure he kind of communicated to me. He's like, "Hey, man, you see me? I'm with my family." I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I didn't want to go up and say, "Hey, what's up?" Especially
Right.
when he's in this setting.
Yeah.
There's just a nice little memory. I don't know. It feels weird. Like celebrities, I'm pretty sure they get it all the time. Like people walking up to them, but I just can't bear myself to walk up to whenever I see them.
I can't do
I'm
it
just like,
either.
hey,
Yeah.
what? You probably want your privacy. It's okay.
I've had to deal with so many celebrities at work. Like I've actually like served like a lot of celebrities, and it's just there's been a few where I've wanted to be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm a fan or whatever. Like I would never ask for a picture. That's too. I'm not ballsy enough for that. But just to like mention, like, oh, I know,
Yeah.
And I never do.
No,
I
yeah,
just feel bad about it because like, oh, they're eating.
Yeah.
They're with
Yeah.
people.
I have my macaroni, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My day off.
I think the worst celebrity I ever had to deal with was Christina Aguilera.
Oh yeah.
She wouldn't even. Here's my experience dealing with celebrities.
Caesar.
You got triggered.
She was, dude. It's so actors are all extremely nice and they tip very well
Okay.
because a lot of them had to do that job at one point,
Right,
like a
right.
server or whatever, bartender. They're always really nice. Athletes are mothers,
Oh.
like because everyone just kisses their ass all the time. You know,
Oh,
they
yeah.
think they judge them up. Kobe Bryant, R.I.P., notorious for never tipping.
Oh,
Never
really?
tipping, yeah. And I've had to deal with him one time, did not tip.
Wow.
He didn't even pay, like he had someone from his whatever pay, but
Yeah.
they just didn't leave a tip. But like he's notorious for never tipping.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's athletes usually, because a lot of them are like kids too.
Oh,
Mhm.
like the Ball family.
What's the Ball family?
family?
Ball from Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball?
Balls. You don't know them?
I don't know the
Basketball?
balls.
No.
Anyway, so back
They're
to
from
what I was
Chino Hills,
saying.
whatever. You know, thank you.
Are these-
Yeah, they were just like a wacky family that the sons were in the teams, and then the dad was like trying to like
Oh.
overshadow everything.
Yeah, they all went to
Oh,
Chino
yeah.
Hills High and they became super athletes.
Just
They
like a
won.
Jackson family thing?
They won the whole
Kind of, yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of
Wow.
for like mixed
Mixed balls?
black and white mixed boys playing basketball. I guess.
Oh.
I guess. Well, because the dad I guess played in the NBA or
I don't know
below
about
the
that.
NBA. I don't think so.
I don't know their whole.
He was a
backstory.
character. He was crazy. But then he'd come into BJ's in Chino Hills.
But they don't
And
tip.
they would never tip, and I'd be like, ugh.
Oh, man.
Yeah, athletes never tip because they think they're so like up their own ass. Because people are like, everyone around them's a yes man.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
just like, I'm the greatest, whatever. So
Yeah.
they suck. And then musicians too. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
Everyone's up
yeah.
their ass all the time.
Yeah.
Like they're so talented and blah blah blah. That Christina Aguilera wouldn't even look at me. She wouldn't look me in the eye like when she wanted anything. She would just kind of be like this and speak.
I want
And
the
it's like-
Chardonnay.
It's not like she's trying to hide. It's like because we're told ahead of time that who this is. They're VIP. Like so, just be aware. And then like they're usually on their own. So it's not
Mhm.
like I'm not like I know who you are.
Yeah.
And she just wouldn't even look at me. So screw her. Tom Hanks was the nicest.
Ooh, Tom Hanks.
He was very
Looks
nice.
like a nice guy.
Oh my God.
So I had the name, and it said Tom Hanks on it. I want
I'm
this.
gonna censor this.
It's not gonna
that.
get out. It's like a thing that a lot of us do. Sorry to
Yeah, you
spoil
do.
it.
Oh my
God.
Well, we don't steal it. It's just like
They
it's
didn't
just
have the
that,
security code.
yeah, we don't pin, but it's just like that memory. Like, oh, it was real. Like this is actually Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
I did that with Tom Hanks. I did that with Halle Berry. What's the guy's name
Halle Berry.
from Mad Men?
John Hamm,
No, not him.
Don Slattery.
No, he's in the later seasons. He plays Teddy Chaw. I forget his name, but like I knew immediately it was him because I'm a huge Mad Men fan. But I don't know his name. And he gave me his ID with his credit card when he's paid. At this time I was working in like the alfresco, so it was just like drinks and stuff. So he gave me his ID with his credit card, and I was like, okay. But then I went back and I was like, holy shit! Like it's him when you see them, but then you have like I have your ID.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
is you. Like and I took a picture of that.
Wow. That's what they do?
The thing, yeah,
That's
we
it.
do that.
Wow.
I'm sure someone over the years has tried to, steal something. I never have.
Mm-hmm.
It's on video. It's on the internet. I've never done it, but yeah, actors are great. Musicians and athletes they're usually extremely rude or just very belittling. To
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why we're talking about.
Interesting.
I think it was Tom Morello and the Ren Fair.
Oh yeah, at the Ren Fair.
Fair.
Yeah. So back to the Ren Fair.
Yeah.
I would go again.
Yeah.
Had a good time.
Mhm.
I'm going to go in May 18th,
Okay.
the last weekend. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that.
What are you dressing up as next?
Well, the Lord Farquaad.
Lord Farquaad
Oh,
is
yeah.
you're set on
So
that.
I'm
Okay.
pretty set. I don't know if I can walk on these all day, but
Mhm.
you know.
That'd be tough.
Are
yeah.
you gonna try that?
I mean, I might try to do
For,
like,
like, a picture
just
or
some like
something.
shoes here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to match his height.
The lady Farquaad that I saw was not on her knees.
Oh,
No, she
It's
wasn't.
classy.
that's a
Yeah.
shame.
Yeah.
When I went last year, there was a lot of there's a lot of fryers
Maybe it
that
was later
go.
in the day, man.
Sorry, no, you're good, you're good.
It's a lot of fryers.
Yeah, I think one was even handing out, like pages.
Yeah.
Like, the good Lord gives you these.
It's a comfy cosplay. You just
Yeah.
put on that robe.
It is. It's easy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's cost effective too.
Very
$30. Yeah.
Just a robe and a rosary or something, and that's it.
Yeah.
rosary.
A dollar store Bible. That's what we had. Yeah. My friend made a cutout and put his flask in there, and I'm like,
Hell yeah.
they didn't even check it. They're like, yeah, okay, good, you're fine.
Ooh.
I went as a jester,
Oh,
but
that's good.
I ended up being the only one. There was no other
Didn't
jesters
see
there.
another gesture?
No, and I was like, this has got to be like a pretty common costume.
What?
I didn't see a single jester,
Mm.
and I was the only one that was. Mine was kind of like a gothic Victorian jester, not like typical one. And people liked it. They were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, nice costume!" I'm like, thanks, Amazon, $22. Like it was
22
really
bucks.
easy.
Heck yeah.
I already sent it back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Clint, you got to check it out.
You already
Yeah.
sent it back.
Yeah, what did I get that for my free time. I think I'll dress as a jester. I wore it on the show one day, but not address it.
Yeah. I expected you to wear it today.
It's just my fit today. I'm just jester today. It had the mask had like the things on it, bells on the end that were extremely annoying, so I ripped them off, and I still returned it, and they still got my money back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, well, I had a point to that. I forgot. Anyway, it was fun. I'd go again. Maybe later in the day because I went like right when my point was because your friend bought the flask. I had no pockets on that thing, so I had to bring like a little tote bag to carry.
Yeah.
My they didn't look in it.
Yeah.
I walked right in. They were just like, all right.
They're pretty
Like-
lenient.
Yeah.
They're probably like, oh, you're more buzzed, you'll buy more.
Yeah, or they just
talked
don't.
me into a $35 tea bag.
They're like, hey, there's
Yeah.
already weapons for sale inside, so
What are we
you guys
gonna
good. Yeah. Weapons and alcohol, the thing we may catch from you here,
Yeah.
is in there already. So
Yeah.
just have fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably go later in the day when it cooled off because I got sapped by that sun.
Stopped.
Took all my energy. I got home at 3 and went like right to sleep.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
exhausting. It's a whole day thing.
Yeah.
I got VIP parking, so I'm gonna have to go
Ooh.
pretty
Yeah.
early. Our
Yeah.
Right
Uber
at the
had to
front.
drop us off like way outside. We had to walk like half an
That's
hour.
what somebody had told me. They went. I didn't drive, but they were like, make sure that you either get there early or you get the VIP parking because you're going to be all the way back.
Yeah, yeah,
Thing, and that sells out the VIP
yeah.
parking.
It
so.
does. So
But I remember driving out. People were still coming in and just like they're like all the way back.
Suckers.
Yeah, peasants. I still got like bells on my head.
hopping there.
swan.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun though. It was fun to kind of get in character and just like, oh, have to use the privy. Like,
Oh, did you?
The bathrooms are called privies, and was
Privy.
like, that's
Yeah.
awesome, dude. I'm gonna
Privy.
start calling them privies.
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of like talking like that too. Like when we did the pub crawl, the people that do it, it's kind of like they're doing like stand up ish. They're like up on things and like telling like dirty jokes about my like I can't do it, but they're telling like old dirty jokes, and they're like, this is kind of fun.
Mhm.
So like everyone's in character, so you kind of get into it too, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's kind of fun.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
extremely
Wow.
nerdy and extremely dorky, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Like everyone's into it. So I say go.
go. We're
try it
going,
out.
Caesar. Maybe not right after this. You look,
All
you
right,
look like
right
you
now
need a
today.
nap.
Let's go.
May 18th. Just
Yeah.
come. Yeah.
It doesn't
18th?
sell out. The tickets don't sell out. The regular ones.
Mhm.
So
No.
you can just go in.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. What would you dress as?
Me?
Yeah. What's
I don't
your
know.
outfits?
I would have to be a knight.
A
You'd be a
night.
knight?
Really?
Whoa.
You're feeling confident.
Yeah.
Like suit of armor night?
Hell yeah. I don't do no.
Right. He's
Yeah.
all in.
Well, I didn't see much like full armor, but guys had like plate
Like,
and
yeah.
and stuff,
Like
not
chainmail.
like clang, clang.
You know how hot that would get?
That's-
What was that?
You know how hot that would get?
I don't
He-
care. It's worth
He'd be
it.
blinding everybody. The sun.
yeah, it just reflects. You're gonna have the thing that's like chink,
My
so no
knight
one
in
can see
blinding
it.
armor.
We
Yeah.
could do like in A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, I want to look like Heath
Let's
Ledger.
do that. Let's be
Okay.
Heath Ledger.
There
Yeah.
you go. See,
Just a big
if
feather on your head.
Yeah.
if I'm gonna go look at boobies, then I gotta give them something to look at back.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good
Nothing,
idea.
they won't see you.
No, I mean I won't wear the hat part.
Okay.
Mm.
I gotta see my face. That's
So,
the
yeah,
thing.
you gotta have
The
the
seal
flowing
locks,
hair
the
out
flowing
'cause
hair,
that's
yeah.
very on brand. Like Sir Caesar.
This is Caesar.
Exactly.
A good costume would be what is it? The Monty Python, the Black Knight.
Ooh, Black Knight.
But like
I didn't
you
see
just
any
hop
of those.
around with one leg.
Yeah, you just keep losing limbs.
Yeah.
They just fall
A
off.
good one. I'll bite your legs off.
Watch your legs off.
I saw a lot of Star Trek people there too.
Oh,
There's a lot of the
yeah.
cosplays are like you don't belong here.
What?
There were a lot of.
There's a Marty McFly.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
the time travel
Doc.
people?
Yeah.
I saw
Oh.
Darth Maul.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Dang it, Marty.
I saw a lot of Jokers too. That was
Joker?
interesting. Yeah, like the.
But not a
purple and
gesture?
green. No, I guess that's kind of adjacent to that.
It's
Maybe if
pretty
like
close.
Harley Quinn was there, but
Yeah.
no one was like Jester. Yeah, a lot of Star Trek people. Dude, really?
Damn.
You're ruining it.
Yeah.
You're throwing off the groove. So we're kind of at the
Yeah,
end.
we're kind of at the end.
You want it?
I have a little quick aside for you.
Quick aside, go.
I went to go see I Think You Should Leave live with the show with Tim Robinson
Oh,
on
yeah.
Netflix.
Mm.
It's part of the Netflix is a Joke Festival, which is happening this week and next week.
Right now.
And it was at a college campus, and what that show's a sketch show. So it was the creators of the show with comedians coming out and talking about the sketches that were unaired and seeing if they should have put them on the show or not. And so they were talking between, and they would say funny things, but it was in a college campus, and all these college kids were drunk,
Oh.
and they had no
wow.
patience for the talking in between.
Oh, no.
So it just kind of sucks because you're like trying to like listen to them talk. Because I was like, this is what I signed up for. Is this they're gonna make jokes about the sketches in between, but college kids are just horrible.
That sucks.
Any kind of college show sucks.
Yeah, I didn't
You usually
realize
do a
that.
show at a college. It's like they don't give a shit.
They really don't. They just wanna
Yeah.
get
I
drunk.
think some people refuse to play colleges.
A lot of
just
people
because
Yeah.
of
will
the
not go
vibe,
to
yeah.
colleges because they don't care.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Hey, what's
Who-
going on at this show? We'll check it out, and they ruin it.
Man, who showed up with him?
It was a comedian. Oh, it was Sam Richardson.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah, from Ted Lasso, and he's also his best friend.
Yeah, his best
I
friend.
love
yeah.
Ted Lasso.
Oh,
Patty Harrison, who's a comedian, also is really
Mhm.
good.
Mhm.
And then they got this guy who's just a rookie stand-up or rookie improv guy that they found in San Diego because I was in San Diego to just be part of the show.
Oh,
Oh my
This guy
God.
was like cringing, like cringeworthy, ridiculous the whole
was he
time.
bad?
that's kind of cool
Yeah.
though.
It was
Because,
so
we'll give you a
interesting.
shot.
Yeah. And then so they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have you do a scene with Tim," and the guy's like, "Oh, okay." And he's like saying, "It's like, hey, Michael Jordan, you want to play with this rookie?" Like saying like the time
Oh, wow.
It's just so like cringeworthy.
Yeah.
And then he does the improv thing that Michael Scott does, where he gets in the scene and then he's like, "I got you with a gun."
I
and
got a
he's like,
gun.
"Shoot you."
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
Don't ever want to be like Michael Scott.
No.
It's never a positive to be like Michael Scott.
So yeah, my point was that Netflix's Joke Festival is happening this week. So go.
We'll be at a show next Thursday for that. the Comedy
Do
Store.
it.
Nice.
So we'll wrap it up. I do want to say that music playlist will be up today. I
Mhm.
finished it. Mentioned it last week. I'll do it like monthly, I think.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't want to do it too. If weekly, I'll get burnt out on it, but
Do
it's
it.
fine. So May's playlist is coming up today.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
All right, let's see. Do you have anything you'd like to plug, David?
Yeah, so I'm trying to start up like my own little brand
Mhm.
production thing. It's called Artwell Media.
Okay, yeah.
So just keep an eye out on Instagram for the next couple of weeks, months as I upload more stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what I want my brand to be going forward as the storyteller.
Mhm.
All those projects. So Artwell Media.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Dude, let's bring Pizza Guy back.
That's been on the back burner for a long
Yeah.
time.
It's just, but it's okay. There's more to,
There's a
do.
lot to add. There's
Yeah.
a lot to add.
we'll
Yeah.
do it. We'll find time.
All right,
Yeah.
teaser.
Here we go.
At Rodriguez Podcast, if you want to make a podcast for you. At The Rodriguez Show is the radio show where I interview artists from all over Orange County. Decade Dialogue is a new podcast I made with a friend. And Carlin Suter's Modern Life on YouTube. And that's it.
The whole time he talked, he was just rubbing his leg. Like,
I was edging over here.
oh my God.
Gooning.
Gooning. Come goon on my Instagram. Nope.
Say come goon.
Goon. Come.
Good.
Ew.
Come Goon. That's the title of the episode.
Come goon. No, I don't.
We'll get
It is
flagged.
C asterisk.
Yeah, gooning at the Ren.
So Clint, where can they find you gooning at?
At the, at the _Clint show. Instagram. I guess TikTok. I'll just keep making. We gotta make stuff.
Okay, you will find me not gooning Uncle 2 _ Marcus. The 30s pod on everything. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Land on gooning.